Watch me.
Hello everyone and welcome to AppDynamics Transform 2021. We are thrilled to have you here with us. We're really excited to be able to share what we are doing to empower you to drive digital transformation in your business at speed and at scale, and what we can help do to turn application and business performance into profit. We have an action-packed agenda, and throughout the event, you're going to have the opportunity to do a couple of different things. First and foremost, learn. We have product deep dive breakouts and live product demonstrations, so please take advantage of both. You're also going to be able to learn what we do with partners, so please take time to visit our partner booths and see what we do together. You're going to have the opportunity to network with peers and AppD experts via WebEx and chat in the platform. You're going to hear from a couple of our customers and subject matter experts and industry analysts and get their perspective on digital transformation. And finally, you are going to have access to free training on core APM and business insights. So this is a big value and we really hope to see all take advantage of it. We promise that when you leave this event, you are going to be more excited about the role that you play in driving digital transformation in your business. You're also going to be more excited about the role that AppDynamics and Cisco play in making you an agent of transformation so that you can drive change not only in your organization, but across your industry and beyond. And throughout this event, we're going to be celebrating Black History Month. It is critical to keep talking about the role that diversity and inclusion play in everything that we do. So you're going to hear from some of our employees. You're going to hear it come out in some of our conversations with our guests, celebrity guests, and just talking about what that means to them. So hope you enjoy. And with that, I'd love to get us kicked off and turn it over to our CEO, Chuck Robbins.
Hi, I'm Chuck Robbins, Chairman and CEO of Cisco. It's great to be with all of you again for AppDynamics Transform 2021. We were together just last year, and shortly after, the pandemic changed everything almost overnight. In talking to many of you over the last 12 months, it's clear that you've accelerated the need to transform your business as your customers and end users began to rely more heavily on apps for things like banking, ordering groceries, educating children, and working from home. 61% of people admit that the first thing they do in the morning is go straight to a digital device before talking to others, and I'm sure many of us can relate. It is critical that businesses pay attention because consumers now have a zero tolerance policy for anything other than easy, fast, and exceptional digital experiences. At Cisco, we brought together the application, network infrastructure, and security worlds to seamlessly deliver these digital experiences. Today, we're excited to share some of our new innovations with all of you in hopes that we will continue to help you accelerate your own digital transformation. I'd like to introduce all of you to our next speaker, Jeetu Patel, Cisco's Senior Vice President of Security and Applications. As you may know, Jeetu joined the team last August, and he has hit the ground running to improve our products and experiences across collaboration, security, and apps. He's intensely focused on delivering the best outcomes and user experiences for our customers in every industry, and we are fortunate to have him on our team. He is going to share more about how we see the market and how Cisco and AppDynamics are here to partner with all of you to drive your long-term success. Thank you all for joining us today. I hope you enjoy your time with us. And with that, I will turn it over to Jeetu.
Thank you, Chuck, for the kind introduction, and welcome everyone to AppDynamics Transform 21. I am so thrilled to have all of you here with us today, and this is in fact my first time that I'm getting a chance to meet many of you virtually. So thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to come join us here. We've got some amazing stuff in store for you today that we're excited to share with you. Now, AppDynamics is an area that's really near and dear to me personally, because the body of work the team is doing is fundamentally changing how our customers can create delightful and magical experiences for their customers. And so we're really excited about this space in general. And as you folks might have heard, we've been pretty busy over the course of the past few months. In fact, there were two additions that we made to our efforts with the AppDynamics area. The first one was Thousand Eyes, which was a acquisition that we made recently, led by Mohit Lad. which is an amazing kind of company and a team of people that are joining us. And then also Dashbase, another amazing company and team of people that are joining us, led by Alex Monk. And so both of these teams are going to be helping us get more and more kind of innovative with what we're planning on doing over the course of the next few years. Look, eventually we're a product company. We want to build great products for our customers and end users alike. And these two teams are going to be really, really instrumental in what we end up doing with Thousand Eyes, Dashbase, and AppDynamics moving forward. Now, let's take a step back for a moment and see what the trends are and the behavioral shifts that are going on in the market before we get started. And 80% of the customer interactions today are now digital in nature. And there's no company that better illustrates how this is fundamentally changing their business than a company that we all know and love, Disney. Now, Disney back in November of 2019, which has historically been a brick and mortar company, and they've actually spent a fair amount of time in theme parks and events. In 2019 of November, they launched Disney Plus. Now, when they launched Disney Plus, they had a very ambitious target, which was to make sure that they got 60 million paid subscribers in 5 years. Now, that's a pretty ambitious goal, but amazingly enough, in the first year alone, they got 73 million paid subscribers. So they exceeded their 5-year plan just in the first 12 months. And this is nothing short of remarkable, but what it actually tells us is that delivering great experiences is a baseline expectations, will be rewarded, and is no longer a choice for companies. In fact, 66% of customers would completely choose to avoid a brand entirely if the experience isn't perfect. Now, the question that we might all ask ourselves is, what is the definition of a great experience? What is that perfect experience that we're thinking about? And if you really think back and say, what is the great experience that you want to deliver? Oftentimes, people will think about, well, the application, which is the front face of the experience that your customer might have to you as a brand, needs to be well designed. It has to have great functionality that solves a real problem that the customer is trying to solve. And it has to have ease of use. It has to be easy to use. It has to be something that doesn't take a huge amount of cognitive overload for people to go out and use it. While these are extremely important, by the way, to make sure that you deliver a delightful experience to customers, these alone don't do the trick. In fact, what we found is performance of the application, the availability, is the application up and running when you want it to be running, and is it being performant and responsive to you in the way that you need it to be, and is the quality world-class where it's not overly buggy, are just as important as the design, the functionality, and the usability. And it's for these exact reasons that we had built AppDynamics in the first place, which was to make sure that we could deliver the amazing level of visibility, insights, and then the appropriate level of action that was required to make sure that when something did go wrong, either in your application or the end user experience, or the final ultimate business impact that you were going to have, that remediation and how quickly you could respond would be something that could be compressed from a cycle time perspective so that you could be responsive to the market. Now, while this is great, and while we've delivered a great platform, oftentimes when something goes wrong with the application, it might not just be a function of the application itself. In fact, what we found is oftentimes an infrastructure glitch, or the network not performing the way that you wanted it to, or there being a security vulnerability could have an adverse effect on the performance of the application, the quality of the application, and the availability of the application. And so this entirety of going from the business impact of, can I actually process a claim, or can I apply for a loan, or can I order groceries, all the way down to, is there a security vulnerability? Is my network functioning properly? Is my infrastructure operating in the way that it's supposed to operate? Makes a huge difference in keeping these applications up and running. Now, this entire concept of having this end-to-end visibility across multiple components of the stack is what we call full stack observability. And there's frankly no other company in the world that's actually more capable and more effective at being able to deliver this entirety of observability all the way from the business impact down to the infrastructure, network, and security level. And let me just make sure I give you an example to make this really real for you. This is something that all of us have faced at some point in time during our lifetime. I recently had my 10-year-old daughter have her birthday, and I needed to order some groceries because I was going to cook some food for her. And so when I'm going to go out and order groceries, I have an app that I'm going to order groceries on my phone. And the app is somewhere communicating with the data center. Now, in between the app and the data center, though, there's a bunch of stuff that happens in the middle because of which sometimes things go wrong. And the amount of time it takes for an organization to detect when something does go wrong and to diagnose the problem far exceeds the amount of time it takes to actually remediate and fix the problem. And so as we start thinking about this, with AppDynamics, what we've done is really understood the exact path that an application would take to get a job done. So in this particular example, I might have a grocery order that I'm trying to place, and there's something that has gone wrong because there was a network policy change that occurred in a node. Being able to diagnose that so that I can go out and rectify that error as quickly as possible is extremely important, because if you don't, then that individual who's buying groceries might just go someplace else. And if that happens one too many times, they're not just going to use your brand at all to go buy groceries because you've lost the trust. This exact problem where you can pinpoint the issue and make sure that you can diagnose the problem and do that proactively so that we can not only identify the problem, but then be able to fix these critical issues and do that in a 10x better way than what it was being able to be done in the past. 10x faster, 10x more effectively is the reason why we've gone out and built and continue to keep investing and innovating with AppDynamics. And to tell you a little bit more about all the innovation that we're doing over here, I am delighted to invite a person that I admire greatly, Linda Tong, who runs our AppDynamics business. She's the vice president and general manager of this business, who's going to share with you some of the amazing innovations that the team is making in the space. Thank you again for taking the time. I hope you enjoy the show, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you after you've actually heard all the great innovations that we're going to be making. So with that, take it away, Linda.
Thanks, Jeetu. It's so great to be here with everyone again. So I want to take a few minutes and double click on what Jeetu just shared with us. We've heard from technologists all over the world in many industries through our Agents of Transformation research. And what they've shared is that during this highly dynamic period, one constant remains: the need for IT teams to have more connection to the business. More specifically, 93% of technologists interviewed told us it's important to monitor the health of applications and services and the impact on user experience and business outcomes. 75% of technologists are struggling to manage overwhelming data noise as they lack the resources and support they need at this time. And when it comes to identifying the root cause of performance issues, 85% of technologists report that quickly cutting through the noise represents a significant challenge. We're seeing this because digital transformations are accelerating exponentially, and businesses need to be able to keep pace. Organizations need to be nimble, but with infinite streams of data coming across the stack and continuous changes being deployed every day across distributed cloud architectures, it's become increasingly difficult for operators to fully comprehend modern environments. That's why full stack observability, spanning insight from the business to the user experience to the app, the underlying infrastructure across the network and security, has become the must-have. Others might say, monitor everything, ingest everything, observe everything. But this approach leaves you with an overwhelming amount of data, with no context of the business or user experience to help you focus. And so what we think about at AppDynamics is the fact that we need to help you get there. In fact, we found that 83% of technologists told us that the inability to prioritize technology performance fixes based on potential business impact will be a challenge. And at AppDynamics, we're seeing those technologists reaching out to find solutions to do just that. So organizations require business context around observability across the full stack, and only companies with full situational awareness will survive. So what does this mean for you? Well, you need to know where the strengths and weaknesses lie within your architecture. You also need to be able to move from being reactive to proactive, and you have to solve problems before they happen. And last, you need to be able to deliver that consistently excellent experience that all of your customers demand. And to do that, you need AppDynamics and Cisco. If you think about AppDynamics history, we've always prioritized connecting everything we monitor back to the business. It started with our innovation around business transactions and has continued through our product with Business IQ. And we strongly believe that in order to deliver the most meaningful insights, you have to carry that same business-centric approach all the way through full stack observability. Because without business context, your teams won't be able to focus on what matters most. Making sense of all this information enables us to be more strategic, to better prioritize what to respond to and where to deploy resources, while never losing sight of what's most important: your business, your customers, your employees. So at AppDynamics, our vision is to see your business thrive by helping you turn performance into profit. That's what we call business observability. We're here to connect the dots up and down the stack, from the most important business metrics through your user's experience, all the way down through the lowest level of infrastructure. Empowered with a business lens, we want to enable you to cut through the noise, pinpoint the most critical issues, and contextualize IT performance insights with real-time business data so that we can help you prioritize actions, innovations, and investments based on the direct impact back to your business. And at the heart of it, there are three core components to this approach. First, ensure business context deep into the technology stack. Second, align teams across the organization to focus on shared priorities. And third, act with confidence on what matters most to the business. This means instead of sifting through a fire hose of mostly irrelevant traces, logs, and metrics, or expending precious resources on problem solving and data analysis, you can focus on taking action on the most transformative opportunities. We're here to help you prioritize what's most important to the business in a way that's easy to see, understand, share, and take action on. We'll help ensure your IT estate holds up under massive surges in traffic caused by continually shifting usage patterns. We'll also allow you to support multiple cloud migrations, essentially overnight. And we'll enable you to implement business-critical technologies at lightning speed, all while continuing to deliver amazing user experiences that delight your customers and keep them connected and committed to your business. With the dramatic changes in the business environment over the past year, digital transformations can no longer be a multi-year project. They're now the top priority of every company in every industry, with the expectation to deliver digital projects in months, and in many cases, weeks. This acceleration, combined with increasingly high customer expectations, means you need to be able to cut through all that noise to quickly identify the root causes of performance issues across your digital properties and prioritize based on your business needs. And at AppDynamics, we're going to give you the power to do this by applying your business lens to that data so you can observe what matters. We've been talking about the incredible shift that has impacted the need for all businesses to rapidly accelerate their digital transformations and how AppDynamics helps them succeed. So today, we've invited Adam Rasner, Senior Vice President of Technology Operations at AutoNation, to talk about their digital transformation and how he's helped make IT a priority investment area of the business and a differentiator in the industry. Hey, Adam, great to have you joining us today. I'd love for you to tell us a bit more about AutoNation, what you do, and how you're disrupting the automotive retail business.
Thanks, Linda, for having me, and I'm really excited to be here today. AutoNation is the country's largest automotive retailer with 350 locations across 16 states. We have about 22,000 associates, and we're made up of multiple lines of automotive business. We have new car dealerships and service. We have collision centers. We have our AutoNation Precision Parts line. We operate 4 auction houses, and we have our new AutoNation USA stores, which are all pre-owned vehicles.
Wow. So that vision for AutoNation is absolutely incredible, Adam. And I'd love to double click a little bit more about what digital transformation looks like at AutoNation and what does that really mean for you?
Sure, Linda. So everywhere I look across our business and all lines of our business, I see massive technical transformation taking place from sales, from service, from auction. Every one of it has new technology components and a new digital experience we're trying to give people. So from online buying, we were already working on the Amazon-like car buying experience long before COVID happened, where you could do almost all the transaction online and we'd bring the car to your door and sign on an iPad. COVID has obviously pushed us to move much faster to make sure all the applications and backend systems are in place to deliver that experience. In service, there's endless ideas of things that are going on. We are working on virtual reality goggles with Porsche and Mercedes, where the technicians can call to California or Germany to work with master technicians if there's an issue we can't resolve at the dealership. And the technicians overseas or in California can see in real time the work that's going on in our stores and help the technicians. We've been building a mobile app also in service that allows you to see while your car's up on the rack that your tires are low on tread, or that you have a crack in your exhaust. Seeing is believing, and so that's going to be a big thing for us. You also have the ability to pay for the repairs and approve them via the app, as well as reserve your loaner and talk with your sales advisor. So these are all innovations we're trying to do to make the customer experience better. On the auction side, we are selling over 700 cars in 2 hours. And so there's a ton of back-end systems that are required to make that happen, both from displaying the cars, taking payment, and all the things necessary to make those transactions happen. And then lastly, on the back end, the systems that our associates use to help price and sell you cars are going through massive renovation. So our equity mining tool gives us the ability to say, Linda, you come in and you have a $3,000 repair on your car. You're in your third year of your note. Our teams advise that you have equity in your car, and for the same note, you can leave here today from our dealership with the same model, new year, and be under warranty and avoid that $4,000 repair. We're transacting about 12 to 1,300 cars a month just from this innovation, from data we've always had, just using it more intelligently.
So Adam, this transformation that you're talking about was absolutely incredible. There are a lot of moving parts. And what I'd love to double click into is how has AppDynamics helped you as you've led this transformation at AutoNation?
Sure, Linda. So if you can imagine a world now where all these systems become ultra critical in being able to sell and service your car, the days of kind of doing a deal on a legal pad are over. We require a lot of back-end systems to be able to transact. From the sales menu that we present you to the finance system to AutoNation.com, the digital experience. There's multiple systems behind these that are required to run efficiently and effectively. And so we really need to have appropriate monitoring and visibility into how these systems are running. It's critical for us to be ahead of any performance issues before they become either business impacting or completely down. So that's why we made the investment, because now more than ever, these systems are absolutely critical.
Nice. And as you leverage these systems, what are some of these, you started to touch on it, what are some of these features and capabilities that you get with AppDynamics to help you manage that performance?
Yeah, so prior to AppDynamics, we have several different disparate monitoring systems that didn't really talk to each other. They didn't correlate events. Very much reactive type systems. And, you can run that way. It's just in this new world we just talked about, you've got to be ahead of the game. So you can't deal in a reactionary mode. You can't firefight all the time. You want to deal with the problems while they're still not very business impacting and get ahead of it. So AppD has really helped us get that viewpoint that we need to be able to look at the underlying infrastructure, the databases, the applications themselves, and correlate events and get ahead of issues before they happen.
I love it. And you just touched on it, which was you want to get ahead of events before they impact the business. So can you touch a little bit more on how leveraging AppDynamics as you build these experiences creates a better world for your users and ultimately for your business?
Sure. I can tell you that in the last 3 years or so, since revamping some of these systems and putting the monitoring in place, our severity 1 incidences are down over 90%. So we have significantly less events that either completely take the system down or degrade the experience for both our customers and our associates using the backend systems. And the greatest compliment that I can get in my job in operations is that the business comes to us regularly now and says, hey, we have confidence in IT. We believe in what you're doing. You're giving us a much better experience. We're not sitting in front of the customer trying to service a car, close a sales deal, and the systems are either slow or not working. And that's the best compliment, that you can pay our team.
That's awesome. And let's touch on that just a tiny bit more. Synergy that you're alluding to between the business and IT. How is that different from how the relationship existed before?
Well, I think, there's always been a rub as you try to bring an industry that's not been the most technologically innovative into, these systems that are heavily digital. The experience of buying cars changed so dramatically over the next 5 years, and I think it's going to change dramatically 5 years from now. Having them come along with that journey requires that they trust that the systems that you're building are going to be reliable, resilient. And so in the beginning, be honest, it was a rocky road. We're introducing them into systems. We didn't have the visibility that we needed in place. And so we made a conscious decision that if we're going to operate this way, and this is going to be the way of the future, we had to get better at seeing what's going on in all aspects of the applications.
That makes a ton of sense. And as we start to look forward, with all these transformations that you're driving, I'd love for you to give us, in your words, what does observability mean for you in terms of how we can support you in these digital transformations?
I think it's really about having a 360-degree view of everything that makes up an application. And most of our applications have many components and subcomponents, and they have infrastructure layers, they have underlying databases, they have middleware. Being able to have a full view of everything that makes up that application. And so we understand where the challenges might be, again, long before they happen. We just didn't have that before. We were sort of using point-in-time tools, looking at just the storage, looking at just the VMware or the underlying infrastructure. Now we can see things in their totality.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Adam. I really appreciate you being here with us today.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you for sharing with us about what you're doing at AutoNation. I'm so excited for the future you're driving. And now I'd like to invite our Chief Technology Officer, Amell, to share the great product releases we've delivered over the past year, as well as some exciting new innovations that we're going to announce today to help our customers along this business journey.
Thanks, Linda and Adam. It's really inspiring to hear the AutoNation story and how you're leveraging AppDynamics to create seamless experiences at every point. I'm incredibly proud of the AppDynamics product and engineering teams and what we've been able to deliver over the last 12 months as we continue our journey towards business observability. Now, I want to get into some of the details of what we've delivered over the last 12 months and getting deeper into full stack observability and moving down into the infrastructure and cloud resources that power your applications today. And we're going to talk about the Cisco Workload Optimizer, our cloud native visualization, and the Cisco Secure application. With AppDynamics and the Cisco Intersight Workload Optimizer, your teams now have the power to investigate not only application performance issues, but infrastructure performance issues, and balance the cost of running that infrastructure and making sure that your applications have the proper resources to ensure a great user experience. No matter whether you're on-prem, in a hybrid environment, or cloud native, Intersight Workload Optimizer helps you balance performance with cost. Intersight Workload Optimizer is generally available today. With cloud native visualization, we've seen a monumental increase in cloud adoption, and that's caused challenges in how do you correlate between that underlying infrastructure and your application. With cloud native, we bring in AWS metrics to allow you to correlate between your core infrastructure and the business transactions that power your business to understand exactly what's happening to your end users and how your infrastructure is impacting that. Cloud native is available today through our early access program. Cisco Secure Application is a collaboration between Cisco Security Group and AppDynamics. As applications have continued to grow in complexity, it's become harder and harder for us to understand the vulnerabilities that exist within applications. With Cisco Secure Application, not only do you have real-time insight into the vulnerabilities that exist within your application, but we take it a step further and allow you to, in real time, lock potential exploits of those vulnerabilities, which greatly simplifies your vulnerability management solutions today, and it brings together your engineering team and your security team and gives them a common language to start discussing these issues. Secure application is also available in our early access program. We want to enable you to observe what matters and continue to connect your business context with your application performance monitoring and within the specific business lens that works for you. We do that a bunch of different ways, but I'm going to talk a little bit about experience journey maps and SAP Business Analytics. So with experience journey maps, we want you to understand your most powerful users and how they're interacting and how they're journeying through your application. We allow you deep insights with multidimensional views of that data to understand where user change behaviors are changing, where they're happening, and why they're happening. This gives you the ability to understand user sessions that have performance issues that are impacting your customer's experience and your business and tying it back to application performance. The experience journey map is generally available today. For years now, we've really helped a lot of organizations understand the performance of their SAP systems. However, our customers still had a problem of understanding how that SAP performance impacted their business flows and processes. With SAP Business Analytics, we brought together our monitoring capabilities with SAP and our business analytics product, otherwise known as BIQ, to give you a holistic view to understand how SAP performance issues are impacting your business processes. This summer, we launched the ability to see this within the system business analytics for cash to order processes within SAP, and we're looking forward to adding more capabilities soon. At AppDynamics, we've spent a lot of time making sure that AppDynamics is easier for you to use and allowing you to move faster. We've done so with Automated Agent Installer and the Dash Studio. With the Automated Agent Installer, we know that our customers are using thousands and thousands of agents, and full stack observability and the entities that we need to observe with that is only making that problem worse. And it's a lot of time to manage these agents. So we've built a unified agent installation experience with a single download that automates the installation, configuration, and update of your agent fleet, allowing you to focus on what truly matters, which is your customers and your business. The Automated Agent Installer is generally available today. With Dash Studio, we've had a massive increase in metrics and data that we're observing. But that data does us no good unless we make it easy for you to gain insights and visibility into that data. With Dash Studio, we wanted to drastically reduce the time it takes you to build powerful dashboards. And we've done exactly that, reducing the time but into 1/10 of the time that it normally would take you to build dashboards within AppDynamics. We've made it easy for you to have overview dashboards and click into the details and drill downs of those issues and correlate them across different time ranges. This drastically increases your ability to build powerful dashboards in a much shorter period of time. And I'm very, very excited about it. And it's generally available today. Now I'd like to introduce Sunsharay Chestnut, who's going to walk us through a demo of the Cisco Secure application. After that, we'll welcome up Vipul Shah, our Chief Product Officer, who's going to talk about what's next for AppDynamics.
Thanks, Ty. As Ty mentioned, Cisco Secure Application is one of our latest product offerings, allowing our users to go deeper into the stack by unlocking security insights. Businesses are facing an unprecedented amount of security threats every single day. And as part of our broader business observability strategy, we've extended our monitoring into application security to enable our customers to detect real-time security threats and provide a way to mitigate them before they're being exploited. I'm starting here in the AppDynamics controller at our application dashboard, our control center for monitoring everything within our application, AD Financial. This is our application flow map, an automatically discovered real-time visualization of all the components that make up our application. As an AppOps person, I live in this view for day-to-day monitoring, and it provides a full stack view into the health of my application. Secure Application is embedded directly into the lightweight agents used to build out this view. This means we're already deployed throughout the environment and living in the application runtime. Notice on the right here, there's a new tab where we've identified 6 critical security issues. Since AD Financial is a customer-facing platform, we're going to want to take a deeper look at this as soon as possible. When we drill into the Events tab, we're presented with the Secure Application UI, which lists all the vulnerabilities impacting our application. Traditionally, security teams will scan for vulnerabilities in pre-production and send their findings to the app teams with little to no context on where it needs to be fixed. This results in a labor-intensive process where the app team now has to translate these findings to determine where exactly in the code the vulnerability lives and map it back to a particular service. With the analysis we're providing, not only does the AppOps and SecOps team have access to real-time vulnerability scanning in production, we're using the data from AppDynamics to map this vulnerability to the affected application and impacted services. For instance, this one was found on our AD Financial app, and we're specifying the instances where this vulnerability lives. This enables the team to do 2 things. 1, quickly triage without having to sift through multiple systems and logs, and 2, prioritize the criticality of the fix. If this was a backend service that's inaccessible to the public, we know this isn't something that necessarily needs to be urgently addressed. Now, if it's a payment processing service, like in this example, we know this is critical to the business and can potentially expose sensitive data. So we want to address this before there's a security breach. This view lists all the vulnerabilities within our environment, whether they're actively exploited or not. Notice that one of these look a little bit different from the others, indicated by these 2 icons here. This tells us that not only are we seeing these vulnerabilities in other customers' environments, we're also seeing this one actively exploited within our own application. When it comes to security breaches, time is of the essence. So let's see how quickly we can work to remediate this exploit. As I drill in further, I can begin to understand how this vulnerability weakens my application. This specific exploit allows rogue actors to execute arbitrary commands remotely and potentially grants them access to data on our system. Right away, we can understand when this vulnerability was first detected and what remediation steps are necessary to mitigate any risks. So now that we understand what this vulnerability is and what applications and instances are being targeted, we want to work in conjunction with the SecOps team to take a deeper look into how this attack is being actively exploited. Here is where the real analysis begins. Our first focus is on answering a couple different questions about the attack, such as where did the attack originate from? Was there any sensitive data that was accessed? Was any malicious code executed on our system? Finding the answer to these questions can typically take months, and sometimes the full scope and brevity of the attack is never identified. In this view, we can help easily answer some of those questions. Over in the left here, we're providing some context about the attack and the methodology used to detect it. We can also piece together if there was a sequence of attacks and if there are any other applications within your environment that are being targeted as well. Over in the bottom right is one of the most powerful views on the screen. Since we're fully integrated into the application's runtime, we're able to analyze how the attack was executed and provide a full stack trace of that attack down to the line of code, so your app team knows exactly where they need to go to remove the exploit. We're also able to see the exact commands that were executed, which helps us understand if this was just an initial rookie attack to confirm we have access to the system, or maybe this is something that's more sinister, where sensitive data was removed from the server. We've condensed all this information into one easily consumable view, so both the AppOps and the SecOps team can speak a common language. This saves countless hours of analysis and allows us to start working on remediation right away. So now that we have the information we need, let's stop this attack from happening again before anything nefarious happens. With our customizable policies, we're able to move from simply detecting these issues to proactively blocking them, which buys us some time until the app team is able to get the fix into production. This brings us to our policy configuration screen. And when I take a look at the specific policy that was used to detect this attack, I can change our response from detect to block. And in almost real time, that new policy is pushed to our app environment with no need for redeployments or agent restarts. This means no downtime, no visible impact on the business. Customers can still safely use our application. So now that we have the confidence that we're protected against the attack, and our app team can carefully work to update the code in affected library. So let's go back over to that vulnerabilities view. Since we live in the application, once that updated library has been pushed out to production, we're able to see in real time that the vulnerability has been fixed. So within a few clicks, we've gone from detecting an attack, determining the scope and severity, blocking it from happening again, and providing remediation steps so the application team can fix it. The average business spends months and countless hours to perform this sort of analysis. We just did it in real time and effectively mitigated it in the amount of time it takes to make a cup of coffee. So now that we've covered this attack, we should probably address all these other exploits that were detected before they're actually exploited. This dashboard shows all the libraries in our application that have vulnerabilities ranked by severity here. We've also identified the release of the library that remediates all of the issues. Since updating a library may require extensive code refactoring, this helps prioritize which libraries should be targeted first and which ones can wait for a future release. So let's quickly recap. Cisco and AppDynamics have opened a new door when it comes to managing application security. We're allowing our customers to transition to a real-time, proactive, and ongoing approach, resulting in a stronger security posture, all while providing capabilities to minimize the effort required to identify potential threats. The only security breach you want to think about is the one that never happened. Secure application enables our customers to protect their brand, their customers' data, and minimize the time, effort, and costs associated with doing so. I hope you're excited about our new product offering as we are. To learn more about our latest and greatest product capabilities, check out our demo booths hosted by some of our product experts. Vipul, over to you.
Thanks, Ty and Sunsharay. I am excited to share some new capabilities that our product and engineering teams have been working on to bring our vision of business observability to life. First, we are thrilled to continue giving you deeper visibility into the infrastructure and the cloud services that power your applications. First, we are using artificial intelligence to automatically detect anomalies in key metrics without setting up dedicated health rules, which decreases time to value for the solution. Also, we're leveraging artificial intelligence to automatically indicate the probable root cause of an anomaly, which decreases MTTR. This will be available as early access in the coming months. Additionally, we are providing a lightweight way of deploying all of our customers' infrastructure monitoring needs, including host, operating systems, containers, network, and ingesting data from Prometheus through single infrastructure agent. This also aligns with the standard model of deploying services in a containerized and hybrid cloud environments. This single deployment strategy will support all of AppDynamics infrastructure components. This will be available as early access in the coming months. We want to help you observe what matters by continuing to help you correlate business and experience deep into the stack. Last year, we released experience journey maps. And since we released experience journey maps, we've heard from customers that it's a powerful tool to understand real customer journeys and to better understand end user behavior. We're enabling more granular visualization and analysis of the user journeys across business critical browser and mobile applications with enhancements to the experience journey maps. You will be able to customize the journey maps to hone in on the user journeys and experiences that matter most to your business. This will include customization and segmentation of more granular journeys and the ability to save them as dashboards so that you can collaborate with stakeholders across the business and truly observe what matters the most. These enhancements will be generally available in the coming months. We want to continue to make it easy to get value out of AppDynamics. I am very excited to announce that today we're launching a new pricing model. This model is simplified and predictable, and it better supports the modern technologies like containers that our customers are increasingly utilizing. Additionally, we are introducing comprehensive backend monitoring packages built to give our customers the optimal level of coverage for every application they support, ranging from full business observability to fundamental monitoring capabilities for non-mission critical applications. This new licensing is generally available today. We are making it easier to instrument your applications by automating agent installation and updates at cloud scale using centralized management for IT ops, plus APIs and orchestration scripts for DevOps as they roll out new applications. Rest assured that our automation will provide a safe and secure balance between ease of use and granular control while expanding coverage to new operating systems, more languages, and our new simplified infrastructure agent. In our efforts to extend our SaaS products, availability and scalability, we are launching new SaaS locations in Singapore and London. Scheduled to launch in the coming months, these new locations will provide additional regional points of presence to our Asia Pacific as well as United Kingdom customers. The best part is that this is only the start. Count on hearing more announcements as we continue to extend our coverage across the globe. As part of Cisco, we are the only company to provide business observability and do this to arm you, world's leading technologists, with the capabilities that you need to tackle the complexity of today's technology landscape and seize the opportunities of the digital economy. Thank you.
Wow, what an incredibly action-packed keynote. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope it's now more clear than ever that organizations of every size and across every industry need technologists like you now more than ever. They need you to help fulfill the full potential, to drive new innovation, and help the organization drive performance at the highest level possible. And not in the future, but today. And we now hope that you'll stick around and take advantage of the virtual expo that's now open. You can see a lot of the technology that we talked about in the keynote in action and engage with our experts available to answer any questions you might have. In addition, we hope you'll join us later this afternoon back at the main keynote stage for our session with Megan Rapinoe. She's going to share her perspectives on leadership, on diversity, on making bold moves, and more. Tomorrow, we have an expert panel lined up where one of our regional CTOs is moderating a session with a customer and an industry analyst. Tomorrow is also when our breakouts will be available, so please get your schedule set up soon. And finally, I'd like to close out with a video. This is the debut of our vision of full stack observability delivered through the lens of the business. Enjoy.
It's a noisy world out there, and it just keeps getting louder every day. It's easy to get overwhelmed, hard to know what to focus on, putting out fires, constantly reacting to every squeaky wheel. Sometimes we get so busy chasing down all the little stuff, we lose sight of what actually matters. Why are we building all of this stuff? Why do we go the extra mile to create great user experiences? At the end of the day, it's about getting people paid, making more first dates happen, selling more rain boots, more perfectly fitting jeans, delivering more midnight cravings, keeping workers happy, more productive, and living up to your promises. It's about the business. And today, every business is a digital business. Keeping users happy takes an insanely complicated mix of software, hardware, security, design, and support. Working as a team to prioritize issues and fix them quickly, that can be tough. Which is why AppDynamics, using the power of Cisco, is building the world's only full-stack business observability platform. Designed to bring business context to every layer of the tech stack, so that you can work as one to prioritize what matters most and turn performance into profit. We see your data through a business lens, not as meaningless bits and bytes, but as critical information you can use to improve your customers' lives. So you know what to fix first, what to rebuild, what to expand, and what to get rid of. It helps you work together rather than in silos. It helps tell the right person about the right problem at the right time. It helps you see your entire stack, from on-prem to in the cloud, to the public network to the user interface, and understand your customers, their behaviors, and their needs like never before. That's how you observe what matters. That's business observability. That's AppDynamics.
We actually leverage Cisco some technology like WebEx. We provide some training to the teacher. They can, improve their skill and their reading knowledge, and they can know the word better. I think together we have a big power. Is not only one or two children can benefit from that. I'm proud of that.
Between rural school kids and a universe of learning, there's Lucy Guo.
If we're to build a bridge to an inclusive future, then getting healthcare to everyone, everywhere is critical. Take rural Europe, where local doctors leaving for big cities is creating a medical desert. For patients left behind, many lack the mobility or the flexibility to reach critical urban appointments. The remedy, it turns out, is as much a technological marvel as it is a medical one. Meet Medibus, a state-of-the-art clinic on 4 wheels. But designing such a wonder came with its own set of challenges, taking everything Cisco knows about mobility, connectivity, video conferencing, and security into account, and, together with partner Deutsche Bahn, dispatching it from the cloud to create a 21st century lifeline. Now, no area is too remote, no diagnosis or specialist unavailable. All because one company dared to wonder.